Yes. So, as I said, I'd been listening to your videos, and very much the answer was expected. And I had been, I should say, practicing that a little bit. And I get this image where, like how imagine like I'm in a movie or a drama playing the character that I am. But I now somehow I feel like I'm able to step out of that character, and from the side wings I'm looking at myself who is playing the role, and I totally get that space of no judgment, no resistance, and simply this is what is.
Mm.
But I see where I jump from standing in the side wings to into the character is a bit of fear that if I don't play the role, or if I'm not in the role, feeling the emotions and acting out the scenes, that somehow the life will fall apart, or, the doing element pulling me in.
Mm.
How would you address that?
If you don't think about your heart beating, will it stop beating? If you don't think about the breath coming in and out of your lungs, will it cease without your attention on it? When you're walking down the street, you're getting to some destination. You're starting at one point and trying to get to a destination. But do you think about how your legs move and how to put one foot in front of the other? Or do you just walk? So we don't own or run this life. That's the illusion. Life owns this life, right? But at the same time, the illusion has to be very real, or else there'd be no story, right? If you went to a movie and you sat down in the front rows and you look up and there's all these actors on the stage, on the screen, and they're shouting at each other, making love with each other, shooting each other with guns, whatever people do in roles in movies. And then all of the actors stopped and turned around and looked into the audience and said, this isn't really who we are. We're just playing roles. As a matter of fact, we're tired of playing these roles. We don't believe in them anymore. So we're just going to sit here and talk to you instead as the real people that we are. I don't know about you, but I'd get up and walk out of the theater. No fun, no story. I need an arc, right? So this is just life, which appears to be playing all these different roles, all of us, all of you. And in order for the play to work, this has to be 100% believable, 110%. We really have to believe, as Vishnupriya said, that if we don't attend to this life that isn't ours, but somehow if we don't attend to it, it'll all fall apart. Right? So that's part of the fun, part of the play, that firm belief that this is real, the world is real instead of an illusion. That firm belief has to be in place, or else no movie. I want my money back. Won't even get 10% on the tomato meter, right? Bad movie. So you watch that. You watch yourself standing on the sidelines, looking through Brahman's eyes, seeing yourself play the role. And that's part of life. Then you notice that you're a little bit scared that if you don't get out there and run your life, things will fall apart. And that's part of life. That too, right? Because you have to believe in it. The fear is visceral. You can feel it in your body mind. You can feel energy running through you that you call fear. It's all perfect. It's all fine. Believe me, it's just wonderful. So you're not trying to change that. See, that's, I guess the thing I'm trying to say here is you're not trying to force yourself into a state where you never again fear, you never again weep, you never again feel depressed, you never again stop trying to control your life and force yourself to stand on the sides watching. Because let me ask you a question. Who would be the one forcing themselves to try to do that? Right? If the involvement in your life could be called identification with the me, the ego me. Let's just use a couple of fancy spiritual, psycho-spiritual terms. The ego, you know, you've all heard, how many of you have heard of the ego? You know, it's one of our favorite characters. That's when you think that you are this. This is me. This is my identity. I am Teja. You are Vishnu. You know, like that. This body mind. So if you're identified with that ego, you think this is you. You think the mind is you. You think your thoughts are you. So then you say, but that's what gets me in trouble. So I'm going to force myself to stand in the wings and watch myself be like that so that I can stop being like that. Who's saying that? If not the ego all over again. So wouldn't your efforts from the ego to try to subdue the ego simply perpetuate the very ego you're trying to make go away? Right? You're acting from mind to try to destroy mind. What could be more absurd? That's just going to perpetuate more mind. Because now the mind is a partner in the activity, so that keeps it going. So stand on the side and watch yourself when you do. Become totally identified with yourself when you do. It's all perfect. It's all fine. Your job is to know that it's all perfect, not to change your behavior. Behavioral change is just more perpetuation of the ego.